that mic's definitely working. I'm very excited to be here and tell you all about my amazing company, Technology One, what we do, and how I got to be in such a cool, snazzy place like this. Now, Technology One, who here, give me some names. When you think of big tech or software company, what are the first names that come to mind? Microsoft, excellent. Apple, at the back. What was that? Nintendo, I haven't actually heard of that one. Yeah? Exactly. Now, where are all these companies based? Where are they? Not here, are they? Not in Australia. They're all overseas. But what if I told you that right here in Brisbane, we are home to one of Australia's largest R&D software companies? Who knows what R&D stands for? Right here. Research and development. Brilliant. So that means we invest in our software, we build software. Now, Technology One. First, I'll get into where we started, because we are one of the original OG tech startups in Australia. Now, we started in a small demountable located behind a hide tannery processing plant. Very smelly place, tiny demountable. And two men, our founder, Adrian DeMarco, and his right-hand man, Lee, they got to work on creating our very first product. It was called Tech One Finance. It was used to manage all the financial aspects of a company. Now, it was small, simple software, but it did the job and it did it really well. And from that success, they got about hiring new staff members, creating more products, and every 4 to 5 years, Technology One would double in size, growing. 34 years later, we now have 14 international offices in Australia, New Zealand, Vietnam, Bali, and now the UK. We have 1,300 staff members, a huge difference from just 2 at the very start. Of those 1,300 staff members, we have 400 developers, making us the biggest R&D facility in all of Australia. Our success is driven by our people. Everyone at Technology One is very passionate about IT. They love everything we do. They're hardworking and they strive for excellence. But as you can see, when the hard work day is done, when you've hit all your deadlines, all your goals, you strive for excellence, we turn off our monitors, put down our keyboards, and we gather in our village green. This is our lunchroom. Here we have pool tables, arcade machines, virtual reality headsets, board games. We are all about community and making friends. I have friends all across the business, and it is incredible being able to see these people face to face, people that share my passions, my interests, and we all work together. And let's not forget, we have an all-day breakfast buffet. It's just there. Exactly. Toast, cereal, fruit. I can tell you what, I gained 3 kilos within a month of working at Technology One. It's awesome stuff. But how did I get here? See, my role in all of this, I work in the SaaS product and platform team. Who can tell me what SaaS stands for? Someone over here. Not sure? SaaS. How about over here on our right-hand side? No. SaaS is one of the fundamental elements of cloud computing. It stands for Software as a Service. What this means, being a SaaS company, this means that we don't only create the software, we host it, we manage it, we take care of all the servers and the stuff behind the scenes. So when the client comes to us wanting our software, all they need to do is log in, and they can access this from anywhere. My job is to help manage those servers, writing scripts and tools to make our lives easier and make the software run better in our own environments. All this happens behind the scenes. so our clients can have it very easily. But I didn't start here. This wasn't the start of my journey. I'm going to take things back to when I was in your shoes, when I was in high school, grade 10. Who here loves video games? Yeah, most of you. Aren't they fun? Isn't it crazy? Do you ever wonder, how do they work? I was always curious about how video games worked, and I started out in high school making mods for games, playing with them, often breaking them, and that became a passion of mine. I was really interested in how math and technology worked. Oh, back. Perfect. Now, when those university pamphlets started rolling around, which I'm sure some of you have already seen, the myriad of confusing pathways, choices, careers, what do I do? One thing stood out to me, and that was computer science. My hobby, my passion, what I do in my spare time. Imagine doing that for a job. Every day, fixing problems, having new jobs. It sounded like the dream. So I embarked into university, learning all about IT. And that's what university is brilliant at, teaching you about IT and what it's useful for. But I wanted to see that. I wanted to get into the real world and experience what IT is all about. Who here has built a computer? A lot of you, very impressive. I haven't built one when I was your age. But I learned on the job. See, this job, I got to volunteer for a not-for-profit organisation. I was paid in experience alone, but I had a blast. I spent 6 months crawling under desks, untangling cables, so many cables, replacing parts of the computer, updating software, and of course, the number one thing you do in IT tech support, who can tell me? Turning it off and on again, absolutely. Absolutely, you do a lot of that in IT support. And after 6 months of that, I thought, I've got enough experience. I want more. I was ready for my first job, plus I was broke. Next slide. Now, this job was a game changer. I was given the opportunity to work in a government IT help centre. Who here is terrified of answering the phone? The disembodied voice. When that unknown number comes up on your phone, that can go to voicemail, can't it? Voicemail will answer that for you. I was terrified. Now, I stepped foot into this office. I had my ill-fitted suit. There were 40 people answering phones, busy clacking away, all in suits, looking much better than me. There were boards on every wall displaying numbers and statistics, emergency announcements. I was terrified. They had me answering the phones on day one, 8 hours a day, every day, answering phones. When my hands stopped shaking and my mouth got a bit more moisture back into it and I could actually talk again, it was an incredible experience. I learned that anything and everything in the IT world can break, and I was learning something new every day. Even after 3 years of working in IT support, one day I could be working on a website, upgrading some backend servers, or setting up a phone system and doing voice recordings for answering machines. That was a lot of fun, though it was weird when I heard my own voice when I would go to a missed message bank. And then the other jobs, the people, dealing with the people who use IT and how varied they can be. Do you know how long it took me to explain to an old firefighter where the caps lock key was? It was about 20 minutes. It was an enjoyable experience, I will say. After 3 years, I was very experienced with tech support, but my passion was in programming. See, I really liked putting my phone on the ground and just sitting down and getting stuck into the code. And that's when, as my graduation was approaching, I saw the Technology One graduate program. Now, this was very different. This, as you can see, this is my team of graduates. All of us were in the same shoes. We were all new out of university, all eager to learn, but we had different backgrounds, different interests, different skills. We were a very diverse group. And I got to learn how powerful teamwork and collaboration is. Everyone there was eager to participate, and it was like magic. They gave us a safe-to-fail project. What this means is a project that's entirely our own. They told us, grads, you are responsible for researching, designing, developing, and then you have to tell the entire company about your new product, and it better be good because they're going to vote on it. This was an awesome experience, and it eased us into the development life cycle that Technology One uses and the standards of Technology One. And being part of the team, creating a product and just seeing it work, it was magical. I will never get over the satisfying feeling when you write something and it works. Working towards a project. Obviously, there's plenty of times where you spend 3 days to find one line that was incorrect. But that's just the nature of it. Every day is new challenges, new beasts. And this is a sample of what our product looks like. It's crisp, clean, modern, web-based, and I think it's very pretty. It's also designed to work on all devices, so it'll work on your phone, on your computer, on the train, at home, in the office. That is the power of SaaS and the advantage of using cloud computing. We have a variety of products. Now, you're probably looking at these. A lot of these might seem a bit unusual. Our main customers are councils, banks, hospitals, financial institutions, asset management. A lot of the really big guys use our software, and chances are you or your parents have used our software as well. See, when you go to look up bins or pay rates or register your pet, chances are you're using our software, and soon you'll be going to universities, whether it be QUT or TAFE Queensland, all our software, and you'll get to, you may not even realise it, I didn't even realise it, but that's the whole point of our software. It's meant to work effectively in the background. You're not even meant to think about it, it's just meant to work and make life simple. And that's our mantra, transforming business and making life simple. That's ultimately what our software does. It's just meant to get the job done. But I'm a developer at Technology One, but as I was saying, not everyone at Technology One are developers. We have a variety of teams that work towards our common goal of transforming business and making life simple. Now, I'm going to have an example here. See, as a developer, I work very closely with business analysts. A business analyst's job is to research a problem, devise a solution, and then they give it to us, the developers, and we make it, and we better make it right because they'll get cranky with us. So let's say the business analysts have designed a brand new button. It's a really cool button, awesome button, great concept. They give it to us developers. The button, really cool button, we're loving it. But how do we tell people about that button? What does the button do? Well, that's exactly what our marketing team does. They're passionate about their software. They're also responsible for doing all our logos and all our designs. They see the button and say, yes, this button's brilliant. Well about the button. We'll tell all our clients about this awesome button. Once the world hears about it, they come to our sales team. Very charismatic bunch. They're the ones that say, yes, we'll organise that. We'll get the right button for you, the best fit. From the sales team, it goes to our consultants. The consultants install the button, make sure it works. Once it's up and running for the client, our support reigns. And our support is responsible to making sure that button behaves exactly as it should. And this entire process, we collect feedback. We collect data. What do the clients like the button? Is it working the way it is intended? Do they need a second button? And with that information, it goes back to the BAs. And the cycle repeats, adding new features, new enhancements. And we end up with a pretty amazing set of products. One of the other amazing things about Technology One is our 1% pledge. Who here's done work for a charity or volunteered somewhere? Awesome. We do the same thing at Technology One. Our 1% pledge means that 1% of our profit goes to charity, 1% of our product goes to charity, so they can use our software, and 1% of our time goes to charity. Now, what that last point means, time, is that we get to work for charities for 2 days a year. So, I've worked in soup kitchens, I've sold the Big Issue for the homeless, and just recently, I spent a day assembling solar lights to be sent overseas for children in need. It is an awesome experience. One of the other awesome things we do is a big day in. We take representatives from UQ and QUT and pitch them against each other to game it out in our offices. Now we'll play a video to tell you more about that.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Big Game 2019.
The Technology One Big Game is actually a really important part of what we do. We wanted to find a creative and fun way to bring people into the company who are thinking about working in software for their career. But we came up with this format, which is about two teams, QUT and UQ, and said, pick a side and let's go and have some fun.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm the president of UQCS, and I'm studying software engineering.
My name's Jamin. I'm the current president of Code Network, and I'm studying a Bachelor of Computer Science.
So what do you think of Tech One's Big Game?
It's a really great event. It's got a really cool community spirit to it. It's a really cool environment as well to socialize the network with all the Technology One staff, which is awesome.
I love the Big Game because we don't get to see a lot of the industry side of like graduating, and it's really encouraging.
I'm Lucy and I'm doing computer science at UQ, the better uni obviously.
Yes, the better university.
This time we are playing real-life Rocket League, so whoever wins this game wins the Big Game.
Usually a lot of the networking events feel really formal, but this is like just so chill and relaxed.
Events like this are important because it does bring experienced people in our industry together with people who want to make this their career, and making sure those that want to do this for a living feel that it's really accessible.
I'd like to announce the winners of the 2019 Big Game, UQ.
Is someone with a mic? Perfect. Just down here.
So what mods did you start out by making? Just wondering.
Started making, my first mod was a Minecraft mod. It didn't work. I moved on.
Alright, what was your most successful mod that you made?
My most successful mod was a lot of RTSs. So I liked modding there. I didn't really publish many of them because they didn't often work too well, or they were just more for my own amusement and fun. So I don't know if you've heard of it. Supreme Commander, that was one of my favorites. I liked making a lot of mods for that one. Do you make mods yourself? Is that something you're interested in?
I've always been interested in it, but the problem is my commitment skills are very lacking. So what happens is I'll try and make a mod and then give up about maybe 30 minutes into it, but the attempt's there. Anyway.
Awesome. It's one of those things that when you have something as a passion and you do in your own time, you can get, as long as you're learning something and you're having fun with it, that works. Just a question behind him. And another question down the front.
Hey, do you guys just hire, does Technology One hire just programmers, or do they have something for engineers to do as well?
They're engineers, software engineering?
Yeah.
So we do have, the skill set at Technology One is extremely broad. So there's generally a place for everyone. We've got data scientists and data engineers. They work with data models and such as well. So there's a place for software engineers, and many of the people have software engineer backgrounds. But again, 400 developers work there. We've got front end, back end, and middle end. So we've got a lot of people that worked with React Native, a lot of C#, Java, Python. There's a huge range that we use. And generally, if you've got the skill set and the know-how, we can always teach you what you need to do. You just need to be eager to learn. Does that answer your question?
Okay. So in a large project, since you're on the development team, how badly is crunch felt?
Crunch. So we have a 6-month release cycle. So when you're coming up to the close to release dates, everything's spaced out, and with the help of the BAs, we've got our pacing's really well set. There are a few crunch days where something's taken a bit longer to do than expected, but generally it's really well organised. We also have a dev cutoff. So we have a certain date before a release, we'll cut off all dev work, and then we just work on testing, tweaking, making it all work right. So if the feature isn't quite there yet, we can always save that for the next release, and we'll work on polishing what's there and what's ready to go. So there is a bit of crunch, but compared to what you'll be doing at university, it's not nearly as rough. So for procrastinators like me, I'm very well managed by my BAs.
Is it something that the management team use on a productive scale?
Was that, sorry?
Is the crunch used in a way that it's productive, so that it applies the pressure where it's required to kind of get people motivated and get that adrenaline going to help them push through the project?
There's definitely motivation and adrenaline there, for sure. It's never like a harsh, uncomfortable pressure, but you're always encouraged to move forward. You've got those KPIs to meet, and you're generally rewarded. When you do really well, it is very satisfying, and I get given ice cream when I get my bug count down real low. But I see what you mean. In terms of stress, there's light stress, but generally it's all about being comfortable and relaxed in the work environment, and about being, well, you're going to be productive. When you've got that many people around you who are so passionate, it's contagious. So you'll find yourself trying hard every day to beat those challenges.
All right, thanks, Rhys. I think that's all the time that we have today for questions. So we just want to put a big hand for Rhys here.